In the shadowy embrace of twilight, where magic whispers between the trees, two hearts beat as one. Their love, a fragile thread woven into the very fabric of fate, is soon to be tested. But as the night deepens, betrayal lurks just beyond the horizon. Aiden, a fierce wolf shifter, stood at the edge of the glade, his heart racing. It was here that he first met Lyra, the enchanting, sunlit phoenix who ignited a flame within him. Their bond was forged in laughter and dreams, a sanctuary against the chaos of their world. Lyra soared through the sky, her golden feathers catching the last rays of the sun. With each beat of her wings, she felt the pull of Aiden's spirit, a connection that transcended their different realms. But darkness was creeping in, and secrets whispered between the winds. As their love blossomed, the peace of their world shattered. Aiden discovered that not all shifters shared his ideals. His brother Kale, fueled by jealousy and ambition, plotted to tear them apart, intending to use their love as a weapon against their very existence. Kale's betrayal cut deeper than a sword. It twisted the threads of fate itself. He revealed the prophecy that foretold the union of a wolf and a phoenix would bring destruction. Aiden felt the weight of the world on his shoulders, torn between love and loyalty. Lyra sensed the turmoil in Aiden's heart. She confronted him in the glade, her eyes reflecting both fear and hope. "We can defy destiny, Aiden," she urged, "but we must trust one another fully." Their love was a beacon in the dark, yet uncertainty loomed large. As the night deepened, Kale executed his plan. He kidnapped Lyra under the cover of darkness, using her as bait to coerce Aiden into submission. The chilling winds carried her cries, echoing through the stillness, a haunting reminder of their fragile bond. Aiden's heart shattered as he raced through the forest, the weight of Kale's betrayal heavy on his soul. Each step felt like a battle against the tide of fate. He vowed to save Lyra, refusing to let love be snuffed out by darkness. Lyra, trapped in Kale's lair, summoned her inner fire. She refused to be a pawn in her fate. With a fierce cry, she transformed, her phoenix flames illuminating the darkness, and she began to plot her escape, fueled by love and courage. As Aiden approached Kale's lair, he felt the air crackle with magic. The ground shook with the weight of the prophecy. He needed to confront not only his brother, but also the truth of their intertwined destinies, a battle neither of them could escape. The confrontation was fierce, a clash of wills and magic. Kale, consumed by jealousy, unleashed his power against Aiden. But love fortified Aiden's spirit. He fought not just for himself, but for Lyra, for their shared dreams and the future they envisioned. In the heart of the storm, Aiden felt the echoes of Lyra's love. Her spirit resonated within him, igniting his strength. With a roar, he summoned the essence of their bond, channeling it into a radiant force that pushed Kale back, turning the tide of battle. As the winds of magic howled, Lyra burst through the darkness, a blaze of feathers and fire. Together, they formed a unity stronger than any prophecy. Their combined magic surged forth, a testament to their love's resilience, banishing Kale and the shadows he cast. In the aftermath, with Kale defeated, Aiden and Lyra stood amidst the remnants of their battle. Yet the cost of their victory weighed heavily. They had defied destiny, but at what price? Their love had triumphed, but it had changed them forever. As dawn broke over the horizon, illuminating the scars of their past, Aiden and Lyra held each other closely. Their hearts beat in unison, a rhythm of hope and healing. They had forged a new destiny, one where love reigned supreme above all. With the weight of their journey behind them, Aiden and Lyra decided to embrace their roles as protectors of their realms. They vowed to stand against any future threats, united in their love, a beacon for others who might feel lost and alone. Their story became one of legends, passed down through generations. The tale of a wolf and a phoenix who dared to love against all odds. It served as a reminder that true love can conquer even the darkest betrayals and forge a path to a brighter future. As the years passed, Aiden and Lyra found joy in each moment shared. They built a life filled with laughter and adventure. Each day, a new chapter in their epic love story. They learned that love is not just a feeling, but a journey taken hand in hand. In the twilight of their lives, they looked back on their journey with gratitude. The trials they faced only deepened their bond, teaching them the power of forgiveness, understanding, and the strength found in vulnerability. Love, they realized, is the greatest magic of all. And as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a golden glow, Aiden and Lyra knew that their love story would continue to inspire countless hearts. For in every twilight and every whispered promise, the magic of love endures, forever entwined in the fabric of fate. As the twilight deepened, a dark shadow loomed over the sacred glade, where Aiden and Lyra shared their sweetest moments. Whispers of betrayal danced on the wind, threatening to unravel the fragile peace they had fought to build. The light of their love flickered, casting long shadows of doubt and fear. In a hidden corner of the forest, a figure, cloaked in mystery, watched with piercing eyes. Elara, once a trusted friend, now harbored a secret that could shatter their world. The heart of the shifter community was at stake, and she knew the cost of silence. Aiden felt the weight of the world pressing against him as he sensed the disturbance in the glade. It was as if the very essence of the forest trembled with uncertainty, mirroring his own turmoil. Lyra, sensing his unease, reached for his hand, igniting a warmth that dispelled the shadows. But peace was fleeting. As they turned, a chilling voice echoed through the trees, breaking the silence with a revelation that turned their world upside down. "You think love can protect you from the truth?" Elara stepped forward, and with her, the weight of betrayal hung thick in the air. Aiden's heart raced as he confronted Elara, demanding answers that echoed in the void of their once unbreakable trust. "What did you do?" he asked, the tremor in his voice betraying his fear. Lyra stood by his side, her eyes reflecting the betrayal she could scarcely grasp. Elara's expression hardened as she revealed the truth. The Shifter Council had been infiltrated by dark forces seeking to seize control. Every secret Aiden and Lyra shared had been used against them, and she had been torn between loyalty and the fear of losing everything. Stunned by the revelation, Aiden felt a whirlwind of emotions: anger, betrayal, and an overwhelming desire to protect Lyra. He knew they had to act, but the shadow of doubt lingered. Could they trust Elara, or was this merely another layer of deceit? Lyra stepped forward, breaking the tension. "We cannot let fear dictate our actions. We must stand united against whatever darkness threatens us," she declared, her voice strong and unwavering. In that moment, the spark of their bond reignited, a beacon of hope amidst despair. Elara softened, realizing the strength of their love could be the key to overcoming the impending darkness. "Then we must gather allies and uncover the truth together," she proposed, a flicker of hope igniting in her eyes. Trust would be the greatest challenge ahead. The trio set out under the deepening twilight, their hearts weighed down by the knowledge of the peril they faced. Each step echoed with uncertainty, but in their hearts, the flame of love burned brightly, guiding them through the encroaching shadows. As they ventured deeper into the forest, the air grew thick with magic and mystery. Ancient trees whispered secrets of the past, and the path ahead seemed to twist and turn, leading them toward an unknown destiny. Suddenly, a howl pierced the night, sending a shiver down their spines. It was a reminder of the darker forces stirring in the depths of the forest, a warning that time was running out. Aiden's heart raced as he realized they were not alone in the shadows. They quickened their pace, the urgency of their mission overshadowing their fear. Aiden glanced back, half expecting to see the dark figure trailing them, but instead he found comfort in Lyra's reassuring grip. Together, they could face whatever awaited them. As they approached an ancient clearing, the moonlight bathed them in silver, illuminating the path ahead. It was here they would confront their fears, and perhaps uncover the truth that would change everything. The stakes had never been higher. In the center of the clearing stood an ancient stone altar, covered in runes that pulsed with a faint glow. These symbols held the key to their future, and as Aiden approached, he felt the weight of destiny pressing down on him. What truths lay hidden within those markings? Alara joined Aiden at the altar, her fingers tracing the runes as if they were a lifeline. These markings tell of a prophecy, of love that could conquer darkness and unite our kind. But with such power comes grave danger, she warned, her voice trembling. Aiden felt a surge of hope mixed with fear. If we can decipher this prophecy, we can rally our people. But who can we trust now? His eyes met Lyra's, and in that moment they knew they had to rely on each other above all else. Their bond was their greatest weapon. Suddenly the shadows around them began to shift, and from the darkness emerged a figure cloaked in black. With a voice as cold as ice, he proclaimed, "You dare to seek the truth. You will pay dearly for your curiosity." The threat hung heavy in the air. Aiden stepped protectively in front of Lyra, ready to defend her against the unknown. "We will not back down," he shouted, his voice steady, resonating with the strength of his love. Alara stood beside him, fear replaced by determination as they faced the threat together. The cloaked figure laughed, a sound devoid of warmth as he raised his hands, channeling dark energy that swirled around him. "You think love can shield you from the darkness? Prepare to witness its true power." His words sent chills down their spines. In that moment, a surge of magic erupted from the altar, intertwining with the love that bound Aiden, Lyra, and Alara. It was as if the very essence of the forest responded to their resolve, a barrier of light forming around them, pushing back the darkness. The cloaked figure's laughter turned to rage as he realized his powers were being countered. "You think mere light can defeat me? I will feast on your despair." He charged at them, shadows trailing behind him, dark intent in his eyes. In unison, Aiden, Lyra, and Ilara raised their hands, channeling their love into a brilliant beam of light that shot toward the figure. It was a moment of unity that transcended fear, hope shining brighter than the darkest night. Would it be enough to save them? The beam struck the cloaked figure, causing him to stumble back, shadows writhing around him like a living entity. The darkness screamed as their light pierced through, illuminating the clearing with an otherworldly glow. Could this be the turning point they desperately needed? As the light began to banish the darkness, Aiden felt the bond between them strengthen. It was a reminder that love was not just a feeling but a force that could shape destiny. They would fight to protect their world and each other, no matter the cost. But just as victory seemed within reach, the darkness roared back, more ferocious than before. "You will not defeat me. I am the shadows that lurk in every heart." The cloaked figure's voice echoed, fueling their resolve to continue the fight against despair. In the depths of the Twilight Forest, the battle between light and dark surged, each force vying for supremacy. Aiden, Lyra, and Alera stood together, ready to face whatever the night would bring, knowing that their hearts were united in love and purpose. As the night deepened, their fates hung in the balance, but they refused to yield. The fight for their love and their world was just beginning, and together they would discover the true power of unity and the strength of their yearning hearts. As the stars sparkled overhead, a chilling wind swept through the ancient trees, carrying whispers of danger. Lyra felt a shudder of foreboding course through her, a warning that something was amiss. Alara, sensing her unease, grasped her hand tighter, determined to shield her from the impending darkness. Suddenly, a rustle in the underbrush caught their attention, snapping them from their moment of solace. They turned in unison, ready to face whatever may lurk in the shadows, hearts pounding with both fear and resolve. Little did they know, betrayal was closer than they realized, masked by the guise of friendship. Out from the shadows emerged Kale, a friend and fellow shifter, his expression grim and uncertain. "We need to talk," he said, his voice barely above a whisper, as if disturbed by the very air around them. Unbeknownst to them, a sinister plot against their unity had begun to unfold. Lyra's heart sank at the sight of Kale's troubled face, a feeling of dread creeping in. "What is it?" she asked, her voice laced with concern. Alara stood beside her, anxiety mirrored in her gaze, both ladies sensing the weight of Kale's words before he even spoke them. "There are whispers of a betrayal," Kale began, his words hanging like an ominous cloud. "A faction of shifters is scheming to undermine the bond between our clans, and they see you two as the greatest threat to their plans. The revelation struck like lightning, igniting fear and determination within Lyra and Alara. But who would do this?" Lyra's voice trembled as she searched Kale's eyes for answers. Alara stepped forward, her hand still clasping Lyra's tightly, a symbol of their unbreakable bond in the face of adversity. They could not allow fear to drive them apart. Not now. "I don't know who leads them, but I suspect a rift runs deeper than we thought," Kale replied, his eyes darkening with worry. "We must stay vigilant. If we don't expose this betrayal, it could tear our world apart, along with everything we hold dear." Ilara felt the weight of Kale's words settle heavily in her heart. "Then we shall not falter," she declared, her voice filled with fierce resolve. Lyra nodded in agreement, her spirit ignited by the fire of their shared purpose. They would not allow betrayal to conquer their love. Kale smirked slightly at their defiant spirits. "I knew you would be the last to back down, but we need a plan. We'll gather allies who still believe in unity, and together we'll confront this threat head on, before it's too late." As the trio set off deeper into the forest, the moonlight illuminated their path, casting long shadows behind them. Each step echoed their resolve, a promise to protect their love and their people. But lurking just out of sight was the true master of betrayal, watching their every move. Back in a hidden glade, a figure cloaked in darkness observed intently. This was Raven, a former ally turned adversary, her heart twisted by jealousy. She had once stood with Lyra and Elara, but now plotted their downfall, convinced that love should be hers alone. Raven's plans were intricate, weaving webs of deceit among the clans. She had already sown distrust amongst the shifters, whispering lies to those who would listen. Each word was a dagger, aimed to sever the bonds that Lyra and Alara had painstakingly built. As Kale, Lyra, and Alara ventured forth, they encountered their first potential ally, an enigmatic shifter named Thorn. He stood tall and confident, yet there was an air of mystery about him that intrigued the trio. His keen eyes sparkled with wisdom and hidden depths, making them question his true intentions. "I have heard whispers of your plight," Thorn began, his voice rich and smooth. "You seek to unite against betrayal? I may be able to help, but trust comes with a price." His words hung in the air, an invitation and a warning all at once. Lyra exchanged glances with Elara and Kale, a silent conversation passing between them. They knew the risks of trusting a stranger, yet their desperation for unity pushed them forward. "What do you require of us?" Elara asked, her tone steady, despite the uncertainty swirling in her heart. Thorn smiled knowingly, sensing their struggle. "You must prove your loyalty to the cause. Show me that your love is strong enough to withstand the trials of betrayal. Only then will I stand with you against the darkness that seeks to tear you apart." The weight of his challenge hung heavily over them, but Lyra felt a spark of determination ignite within her. "We will show you our love is unwavering. We are stronger together, and we won't let betrayal take root in our hearts. We accept your challenge, Thorn." Thorn nodded, impressed by their conviction. "Then let the trials commence. You will face 3 challenges. The test of trust, the trial of sacrifice, and the ultimate confrontation against the shadows of betrayal. Are you ready? Elara took a deep breath, her heart racing at the thought of the trials ahead. We are ready, she declared, her voice unwavering. Lyra squeezed her hand, bolstering each other's courage as they prepared to confront what lay before them. With a wave of his hand, Thorn summoned forth a shimmering portal, a gateway to their first trial. The swirling light beckoned them forward, a promise of both challenge and growth. Step through and face the shadows that seek to divide you, he instructed, his voice echoing with authority. As they stepped through the portal, the world around them shifted dramatically. They found themselves in a darkened realm where shadows danced ominously, and the air was thick with tension. This was the realm of their first challenge, the test of trust. Before them materialized a series of illusions, each designed to test their faith in one another. Images of betrayal flashed, Kale standing against them, Elara turning away, Lyra lost in despair. The very fabric of their trust was at stake. These are but shadows of your doubts, Thorn's voice echoed around them. To overcome them, you must confront your deepest fears. Speak your truths, and your love will shine in the darkness. The challenge was clear, but the path was fraught with emotional peril. Lyra took a step forward, her heart pounding. I fear losing you both, she admitted, her voice trembling. The thought of betrayal, even from those I love, terrifies me. But I know we can overcome this together. Her honesty sparked a flicker of hope. Elara stepped forward next, her resolve strengthening Lyra's declaration. I worry that my love for you both will not be enough to withstand the trials ahead. But I trust that our bond is stronger than any shadow that dares to come between us. Kale, too, felt the weight of his fears. I fear that my past mistakes will haunt me and push you both away, he confessed. But I will fight against these shadows. Together, we will emerge stronger, united against the darkness that seeks to tear us apart. With their truths exposed, the shadows began to dissipate, revealing the strength of their bond. Thorn watched with approval, the flickering light of their love pushing back the darkness. This test had forged a deeper connection between the three of them. You have passed the first trial, Thorn announced, a proud smile on his face. Now, prepare for the trial of sacrifice. It will demand more from you than you can imagine. Only by embracing what you hold dear can you conquer this next challenge. As the first trial faded, the trio found themselves standing on the edge of a cliff overlooking a vast abyss. The ground was unstable and the air thick with anticipation. This was the test of sacrifice, where they must each face their deepest fears and let go of something precious. To succeed, you must decide what you're willing to sacrifice for one another, Thorn instructed, his tone serious. Your love will be tested in ways you cannot foresee, but remember, true strength lies in vulnerability and selflessness. Lyra felt a swell of emotion. I would give up my dreams if it meant saving you both from harm, she declared, tears glistening in her eyes. The weight of her sacrifice hung in the air, a testament to the depth of her love. Elara, moved by Lyra's words, stepped closer. I would sacrifice my very essence, my magic, if it meant protecting you and strengthening our bond. Our love is worth every cost, she affirmed, her voice steady despite the intensity of her feelings. Kale took a deep breath, his heart racing. I would sacrifice my freedom to ensure your safety and happiness. I will not let the shadows steal away what we've built together, he vowed, determination shining through his fear. As their sacrifices were spoken, the abyss before them shimmered and pulsed with light. They had proven their willingness to give for one another, and in doing so, the ground beneath them steadied. Thorn smiled, recognizing their commitment to each other. You have passed the trial of sacrifice, Thorn declared, his voice filled with warmth. Now, you must face the shadows of betrayal directly. It is time for the ultimate confrontation, where your love will be tested against the darkest of forces. With a wave of his hand, Thorn opened a portal to the heart of the Shadow Realm, a place where betrayal thrived. As they stepped through, the air crackled with tension, and dark figures loomed in the distance, waiting to challenge their love. Within the Shadow Realm, the trio faced Raven, cloaked in darkness, her eyes blazing with malice. "You think your love is strong enough to defeat me?" she taunted, her voice echoing with disdain. The air thickened with animosity as she prepared to unleash the shadows. Lyra stepped forward, her heart beating fiercely. "Our love is more powerful than any darkness you can summon. We will not falter." Her words ignited a fire in Alara and Kale, who stood resolutely by her side, ready to face whatever came their way. Raven laughed, the sound echoing through the darkness. "Love? It's a weakness that shall be your undoing. Watch as I unravel the bonds you forged." With a flick of her wrist, she summoned dark tendrils that lashed out like serpents, seeking to ensnare them. As the tendrils lunged towards them, Lyra, Elara, and Kale joined hands. Closing their eyes for a moment, they focused on the love that connected them, a shield of light forming around them, pushing back against the encroaching darkness. Their unity was their strength. Raven stumbled back, surprised by the intensity of their bond. "What is this power?" she snarled, her confidence wavering as the light pushed against her dark magic. The shadows recoiled, and for a moment, hope flickered like a flame. "Together, we can defeat you," Elara shouted, her voice ringing with conviction. The trio leaned into their love, channeling their emotions into a powerful surge of energy that burst forth, illuminating the Shadow Realm with a radiant glow. The radiant energy clashed with the dark tendrils, creating a brilliant explosion of light and shadow. Raven screamed as the overwhelming power of their love enveloped her, the darkness around her writhing in agony. This was the confrontation she never anticipated. As the dust settled, the trio found themselves standing amidst the remnants of the Shadow Realm. Raven lay defeated, her dark magic fading away. They had proven that love, unity, and sacrifice were far more powerful than betrayal. But their journey was far from over. In that moment of victory, they understood the true power of their bond. But as they turned to leave, echoes of Raven's laughter drifted through the air, a haunting reminder that shadows still lingered. The fight for their love and their world was far from over. The wind whispered secrets of betrayal as they stepped deeper into the forest, shadows dancing ominously around them. Every rustle of leaves felt like a warning, a reminder that their happiness was precarious. The air thickened with unspoken fears, each step forward echoing with uncertainty. Kira felt a chill run down her spine, sensing the shift in the atmosphere. "Something is off," she confessed, her voice barely above a whisper. Beside her, Rowan nodded, his instincts honed from years of battling darkness, but he couldn't shake the feeling of betrayal lurking near. A rustle in the underbrush made them freeze. From the shadows emerged Lila, a figure they once trusted, her expression betraying no emotion. "I have come to warn you," she said, her voice cold as ice, reminding them of the fractures in their once unbreakable alliance. "Warn us of what?" Kira questioned, her heart racing as anxiety swirled within her. Lila's gaze flickered, revealing a fleeting moment of doubt before she continued. "Raven has allies among us, and they are planning to strike tonight." The revelation hit like a thunderclap, casting a shadow over their trust. Rowan clenched his fists, anger mingling with disbelief. "Who could betray us like this?" he demanded, his voice steady despite the turmoil inside. Lila's silence was deafening, her eyes locking onto Kira's, revealing a hidden truth that threatened to sever their bonds once more. Kira stepped forward, her heart pounding as the pieces of betrayal began to align. "We must confront this together," she urged, determination igniting her spirit. But deep within her, doubt lingered, questioning whether unity could still triumph over the seeds of division. Lila's shoulders slumped slightly, the weight of her choices heavy upon her. I could have warned you sooner, but I was afraid, she admitted, vulnerability creeping into her voice. The admission sparked a flicker of compassion in Kira. Even amidst her anger, can forgiveness heal their rift? As they deliberated their next steps, a low growl echoed through the twilight, sending shivers down their spines. Rowan's instincts kicked in, and he raised his head, scanning the darkness. We're not alone, he warned, and the reality of their precarious situation dawned on them. Suddenly, a pack of shadowy figures emerged, their eyes glowing ominously in the gloom. Raven's henchmen, drawn to the scent of conflict, surrounded them. In that chilling moment, it became painfully clear that the battle for their love and their lives was about to erupt anew. Kira's heart raced as she felt the weight of their situation, but she steeled herself. We fight for ourselves and for those who believe in us, she declared boldly, drawing strength from the unity of their past battles. This was a moment to reclaim their power against the darkness. The first strike came suddenly, a blur of speed and fury from the shadowy figures. Rowan lunged forward, transforming into his wolf form, a magnificent beast of strength and agility. With a fierce growl, he charged into the fray, a protective force in the midst of chaos. Kira followed closely, her heart pounding in sync with the battle cries ringing in her ears. She wielded her magic, summoning light to pierce through the darkness. Each burst of energy felt like a beacon of hope, a reminder that love could illuminate even the darkest of nights. Lila hesitated, torn between loyalty and fear. But as she saw the strength of Kira and Rowan fighting together, her resolve hardened. I will stand with you, she shouted, finally choosing the path of unity, her own magic igniting with newfound purpose. The trio formed a line, an unbreakable barrier of light and power against the encroaching darkness. Together, they unleashed a wave of energy, merging their strengths and igniting an explosion of luminescence that sent the shadowy figures reeling. But the shadows were relentless, regrouping swiftly with a malevolent roar. Raven will not let you escape, one of the henchmen snarled, eyes burning with fury. The threat hung in the air, a reminder of the impending doom they faced if they faltered now. Kira, Rowan, and Lila exchanged determined glances, each sensing the weight of their shared purpose. We must protect what we love, Kira declared, her voice ringing with conviction. In that moment, they became a force to be reckoned with, united against the darkness that threatened to consume them. As the battle intensified, Kira felt a surge of energy course through her. With a deep breath, she gathered her magic, weaving it into a protective barrier around them. The light pulsed, creating a shield that glimmered against the darkness, empowering their spirits. Rowan unleashed a fierce howl that reverberated through the woods, calling upon the strength of ancient shifters. The sound resonated with magic, empowering their fight and sending a wave of courage through Kira and Lila, igniting their spirits to hold the line. Lila, fueled by her newfound resolve, unleashed her magic, intertwining it with Kira's light. Together, they created a dazzling display of color that danced through the air, dazzling the shadowy figures and temporarily blinding them, offering a precious moment to strategize. In the midst of chaos, Kira spotted an opening. We can flank them, she shouted, pointing toward a narrow opening in their encirclement. With a nod from Rowan and Lila, they prepared to move swiftly, ready to exploit the momentary confusion to their advantage. Together, they dashed through the gap, working in perfect harmony. Kira's magic flared brightly, illuminating their path, while Rowan deflected any attacks aimed at them. Lila followed closely, her own magic weaving around them like a protective embrace. As they regrouped on the other side, their resolve strengthened by the narrow escape, Kira felt a flicker of hope. We can turn this around, she exclaimed, rallying her friends. Their bond was more potent than any darkness they faced. Together, they were unstoppable. But just as they began to strategize their next move, a sinister figure emerged from the shadows. Raven, her eyes gleaming with malice. You think you can defeat me? She taunted, her voice dripping with disdain. Even in the face of danger, her presence sent chills down their spines. Kira's heart raced as she faced Raven, but she stood her ground. We are stronger together and we will not back down. Her voice rang with authority, echoing the unity they had fought for. In that moment, she realized love could ignite a fire even in the darkest of times. Raven laughed, a chilling sound that reverberated through the air. You think mere love can save you? I will tear apart everything you cherish. Her threats hung in the air like smoke, thick with malice and despair. But Kira refused to falter. Rowan stepped forward, anger boiling within him. You will not harm them, he growled, his voice low but fierce. The protective instincts of a shifter surged as he prepared to defend his friends, knowing the stakes were higher than ever before. Lila, feeling the weight of her past choices, stepped beside Rowan, a fiery determination lighting her eyes. We'll fight for our future and the ones we love, she declared, the strength of her magic flaring brighter in response to her resolve. The bond forged in battle had transformed her. Kira took a deep breath, feeling the energy of their unity coalesce around her. Together, we are unstoppable, she proclaimed, raising her hands as she summoned a powerful wave of light. It surged forward, targeting Raven with all the love and strength they had cultivated. But Raven was quick, her laughter echoing defiantly. You think you can defeat me with love? I feed on despair. With a flick of her wrist, she summoned dark tendrils that lashed out, attempting to ensnare the trio in her maleficent grasp. Kira's heart raced as she felt the darkness closing in, but she refused to let fear consume her. We won't let you win, she shouted, pouring every ounce of her magic into the wave of light. Even in the face of despair, love burned brightly within her. The wave of light collided with the dark tendrils, creating a blinding explosion that illuminated the forest. Kira, Rowan, and Lila felt a surge of energy as their bond strengthened, pushing against the malevolent force of Raven's magic. In that moment of brilliance, Rowan transformed back into his human form, eyes locked onto Kira. We have to channel our magic together now, he urged, knowing the only way to defeat Raven was to amplify their unity. Kira nodded, understanding the weight of their connection. Let's do this together, she shouted, her hands instinctively reaching for Lila. In that instant, a powerful energy surged between them, a testament to their love and the choices that had brought them together in this fight. With their hands united, the trio felt their magic intertwine, creating a radiant glow that enveloped them. The combined strength surged forward, targeting Raven with a ferocity that spoke of their relentless hope and unwavering bond. Raven sneered, attempting to counter their magic with dark tendrils, but the light surged stronger, fueled by their love and unity. It pushed through the darkness, illuminating the shadows and exposing the cracks in Raven's power. The energy burst forth, a brilliant wave of light that collided with Raven's dark magic, sending shockwaves throughout the forest. Kira, Rowan, and Lila felt their spirits lift, knowing they had finally tapped into the true strength of their bond. Raven staggered back, her confidence wavering as the light pushed her tendrils away. No, this cannot be, she screamed, realizing the power of their unity was overwhelming her darkness, shifting the tide of battle. Kira, fueled by the surge of victory, took a step forward. Your darkness is no match for our love, she declared, her voice strong and unwavering, echoing through the twilight forest, inspiring hope in every heart that had witnessed their fight. As the light closed in, Raven's expression morphed into one of fury and desperation. You will pay for this, she shrieked, thrashing as the power of love and unity enveloped her, tightening its grip around her darkness. In a final burst of defiance, Raven unleashed a last wave of dark energy, but it was too late. The combined magic of Kira, Rowan, and Leela surged forth, collapsing the darkness and enveloping Raven in a blinding glow that pierced through the night. As the light consumed Raven, a haunting silence fell over the forest. Kira, Rowan, and Lila stood together, breathing heavily, their hearts racing from the battle they had endured. For now, they had triumphed, but the cost of their victory weighed heavily on them. But as the shadows receded, a sense of unease settled in. What if she returns? Lila asked quietly, her voice laced with concern. Kira exchanged a glance with Rowan, both aware that the battle against darkness was an unending journey. Rowan placed a reassuring hand on Lila's shoulder. "We will be ready," he said, determination shining in his eyes. Their bond had proven stronger than darkness this time, and together, they would face whatever came next with unwavering resolve. As they began to walk away from the battleground, Kira felt a renewed sense of hope. Together, they had overcome a formidable foe, and the bond they had forged was unbreakable. The Twilight Forest, once a place of darkness, now sparkled with possibilities. Yet, in the depths of the forest, remnants of Raven's magic lingered, a silent promise that the darkness would rise again. As they ventured further into the twilight, their hearts remained intertwined, a testament to their love and the battles still to come.